At least you admit that looks are a part of it.
You're probably a better product than you think you are. I say
No, you are not probably a better product than you actually are, dear viewer. I would consider that the black pill was the most positive thing that happened to me in my life. Every guy who is sub 5 will say, I'm about average. Every guy who's average will say, I'm certainly above average.
the black pill brainwashes men into thinking that they're going to be alone.
I'm gonna have to comment on the first word he said. The black pill brainwashes. This already starts too aggressive because brainwashing has already bad intent. And I'm going to read what he has written here. He says, it is a pessimistic outlook where individuals, particularly men, believe that a certain outcomes in relationships are unchangeable and predetermined, leading to a sense of resignation. Okay, the first word I want to comment here is pessimistic. It is pessimistic. If you have a bad situation, like if you look bad, if you are short, if you have like the whole the Trinity, if everything is objectively bad in your life, if you are feeling down because of it or you're feeling hopeless, that's because you are realistic. That's not pessimism. So if, for example, myself, I'm not a sub 5, I am black pilled. I know the black pill, and I'm not pessimistic about it. I'm actually optimistic. Actually, I would consider that the black pill was the most positive thing that happened to me in my life because I understood what I need to work on. So I'm not going to ramble for too long on each point, but he's just starting this aggressively. And then they're unchangeable and predetermined, which is life shows you that it is basically the case. There is not much you can change. It's very easy to just show that whatever a sub 5 does, it doesn't help him with anything. Whatever a chat does, it works for him. That's things we see in our daily lives. Okay, so I don't see how he would, in good faith, deny those things. Leading to a sense of resignation, well, of course, you're gonna be isolated if you do not get anything. This doctor says he wasted life not knowing about the black pill and doing things that are stupid. Yes, you do things that are stupid, you do things that are counterproductive, and you waste time, and time is you cannot go get back. So, if, for example, all you needed is to fix your hair or to get lean, and no one told you that, for 5 years, you're gonna be getting fat or learning bad habits. And then when you finally get black pilled, you look and you have 5 years of damage to undo, and then you will have to build again from that point. For people who live only like one life, like we have only one life, it is very sad that a lot of it is spent on like just not knowing the right things. Okay,
that mentality, that way of looking at the world is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you need
self-fulfilling prophecy. Just for the guys who don't know what that is, it means that you're gonna keep thinking that way, and because of thinking that way, you're gonna get the result that you were thinking about. And this will mean that you do not get girls because of your black pill beliefs. We're gonna comment on that later, but that's what he meant by self-fulfilling prophecy.
to discard it immediately. Now, in this video, we're going to go over some examples of black pill thinking, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and convince you that it is a terrible lens to perceive the world through.
Okay, so he grouped all the black pill beliefs into a negative lens. So, I mean, if I'm going to discuss any subject, whether it is like, I don't know, red pill, blue pill, whatever is the subject that I'm going to discuss, I kind of think, okay, there are points that I'm going to agree with, there are points I'm not going to agree with. Dismissing a whole philosophy or the black pill is negative, like the whole philosophy in one point, I'm guessing this is not good faith from the start. Like, he's announcing that he's going to disagree with everything that is associated with the black pill.
And more importantly, give you some practical tips on what you can do about it.
Okay, practical tips. That's very
Here's our first example here. Single men, how do you cope with loneliness? I've been single for years. I'm in shape. Also have been told I'm attractive a lot. For some reason, no matter what I do, I just can't seem to find that someone or even get a date. The reason I'm asking is because it's hard seeing all my peers in relationships and me can't even get a date. How are some ways you guys cope?
So this guy has been single, he's in shape, and have been told that he's attractive a lot. I'm saying that he's the kind of guy who had to ask a lot. That is not a good sign because well, for some reason, no matter what he does, he cannot seem to find someone or even get a date. So this guy is a sub 5. We established that he's sub 5 because he just admitted that no matter what he does, he cannot do this. And that's the thing that's very accurate. It's no matter what he does. So this guy said, I'm going to give him tips. But it is clearly that this guy has tried a lot of things. He tried a lot of dating coaches. He tried a lot of talking to friends, asking men and women and older people and younger people and researching online. As men, we all have went through these phases, okay? The reason he's asking because it's hard for him seeing all his peers in relationships and he cannot even get a date. Okay, so this guy has friends who date. And I'm going to say that this is not the majority of his friends, or he just chooses to surround himself with people who actually date. So I would say he's more of a social climber. He would only befriend people who have a better social life than him. So he's the least attractive friend of the group. Okay, let's listen to what he's going to tell you.
That's cool. So this guy's in an interesting situation where like his friends are going out on dates and stuff. So he's obviously got some kind of a social circle, and he's apparently being told he's attractive. Maybe it's his grandma or the nice old lady at the checkout line saying he looks cute. But a lot
Yeah, mostly his grandmother. We agree on something.
of guys are a better product than they think they are due to the result.
No, oh my God, he did not say this. So, Lamar, he just said that guys have better SFE than what they perceive themselves. And as someone who has been talking to guys my whole like in general, me myself, I have been victim of this. Everyone inflates their SMV. You ask any guy how much do you rate yourself out of 10, and most of them say 7. Some guys say 8. The attractive guys like might be like decent, like down to earth. They would say I'm an 8, I'm a 9, like where he's actually an 8 or 9. But every guy who is sub 5 will say, I'm about average. Every guy who's average will say, I'm certainly above average. Any guy who's like a Chad Light would be giving himself like a 10 or a 9. Everyone inflates their SMV. Where does he meet those people who are better product than they think they are? He just make this claim and he did not explain any basis for it. He did not explain how it works. What motivates men to deflate their SMV or claim that they are less than what they are? I mean, even the guy that started here, let me go back to the, like, look, he said, I have been told I'm attractive. So this guy is positive about his image. He did not say, I feel ugly, or he did not say anything that would make you think that he's less attractive and he could be more attractive than what he actually saying. Okay, we don't have any pictures, so you can never tell. But this guy, the way he's writing, I could look at him and say, okay, he probably is very confident. I mean, please write something in the comment if you agree with me. This guy sounds confident the way he writes, right?
Due to the results they get. They perceive themselves to be either there's something wrong.
Okay, he says, so it's due to the results they get. So he says it. I'm sorry, he said it. Due to the results they get. But they are getting those results based on what? When you are trying to get to know someone, your looks are the first thing they're going to see. When I talk to a girl, let's say in the gym or in the mall, and she rejects me completely, she doesn't know what I do for a living. She doesn't know how much money I make because the way I dress, I look like I make a lot of money. So that's not even that she assumed that I am poor or something. I have a good status, good social status, but she doesn't even know that. She didn't check my status yet. She has no information about me, but she rejected me anyway. So what was that rejection based on? I mean, it's clear that she does not have a boyfriend, for example, or anything like that. Like she's talking to other guys who are more attractive than me or whatever. But the basis of the rejection, what was it based on? It was based on looks. That's the only thing she knows about me. And if you want to accuse like, hey, maybe you fumble or maybe you do not talk confidently. No, no, no. I'm a very confident person and I talk to people all the time. I do not fumble. I do not get awkward. I do not do anything wrong when I talk to girls. So the rejection, yes, it is based on looks. So to take that and conclude that those guys they have a perceived SMV worse than they actually have because of the results. That's the fallacy, because the results are because of their low SMV.
Wrong with them, or they're undateable, or they can't figure women out, or whatever, because they're getting bad results. I'm here to tell you that you're probably a better product than you think you are. I say it.
No, you are not probably a better product than you actually are, dear viewer. There is a 10%, 5% chance that your SMV is actually better or significantly better than what it actually is. Maybe you say you're a 5 and in reality you're a 5.5. Maybe you say you're a 6 and in reality you're a 6.5, but that's the minority. Every guy is adding 1 or 2 points.
It that way, like a product, right? Because today you have, with dating apps and Instagram in particular, the online, the global marketplace of dating, you have to consider yourself on the dating market as a product. To sell any product, you have how good the product actually is, and then you have its marketing. If we look at products, for example, there's plenty of products in the world. There's plenty of inventors, people coming up with great new ideas for products, for services, for whatever. And the product itself is great, but the marketing behind it is trash, and it never gets any traction, and no one ever knows about it, and it never has any success. The marketing of the product is as important as the quality of the product itself. So the point I'm trying to make here is that this guy might actually be a good product. He's got friends, he stays in shape, but his marketing is clearly shit. And this is why he can't get a date. Now, what?
I mean, if he has friends, it means he has social skills, which goes against trying to prove that it's the problem of marketing. If it is a problem of marketing, that would be if the guy was saying, "Oh, hey, I am fat and I stay home in my mom's basement. I play World of Warcraft 24 hours a day and I do not leave my room unless it is to get my delivery and go to the bathroom. Sometimes I pee in the bottle." Okay, if you were that guy and he was telling you you have a marketing problem, I might believe this. But this guy says like he's active. He has a lot of friends who are dating. So he has a lot of non-loser friends. So why are you telling this guy specifically that he might have a problem marketing? Every indicator we have here that is that this guy is good at marketing. The problem is with the value of the product. So actually, you took some argument that has no connection to the situation of the guy you had, and you discarded every information you have, and you just throw in your advice as if it is relevant to this guy's case when it's clearly not. I mean, it could be good advice for someone else, but why are you saying this specifically to this guy?
What's his strategy as well? Depends on your situation, your unique circumstances. Is he in a small town? He's not going to have much success using things like dating apps or even Instagram in his local vicinity. He's going to have to rely heavily on social circle. And if he's been rejected by a lot of the girls already in his social circle, when he's kind of out of options. So he's going to have to change his location to get more options in his vicinity. On the other hand, if he's in a big city, he needs to lean more on things like dating apps and Instagram to get himself out there and expose his product to as many different potential clients as possible. We'll go into this in a bit more detail in the next couple of examples as well. From the Forever Alone forum, go to Reddit Opiates and see how many people have relationships. Just another reminder that be a good person and you'll find someone is a load of horseshit. I actually completely agree with that statement, by the way. You can have a 6-digit income, nice car, nice home, and
He agrees with that statement for the wrong reason. He thinks it's that your niceness is a repellent for women, where in reality, I think you become nice because of the fact that you don't have any options and you're clingy, and every girl that talks to you, you think like, oh, this is my chance. That makes you behave badly. And if you ended up as a nice person, then your SMB was quite low, most likely, and you are not gonna get the girl. And even if you have a sudden change in your personality, that's rarely gonna help.
Generally nice person, but Chad the Junkie will still be fucking all the girls you have crushes on. Ooh. So, I'm assuming by him saying this that he has all these things, like a 6-digit income, a nice car, nice home. But this is the important part. Be a generally nice person. Here's the thing. He is correct in saying be a good person and you'll find someone is trash advice. Because women do not care about you being a nice person. They do not give a fuck about that. That does not get them wet between the legs. They do not get excited by you being a nice person. A couple of reasons, actually, that Chad the Junkie has options and this guy doesn't. There is an element of danger and excitement with his questionable lifestyle habits. If he's addicted to some drugs, there's probably some more exciting and dangerous elements to his lifestyle that... Okay, guys, so just drug yourself. Is this like the advice? I mean, I'm joking. I mean, he's not
he used just a bad example. Like, hey guys, your problem is that you're not exciting enough. Do drugs so girls are attracted to you. Ugh.
Correlate with all that stuff. To throw out a really basic stereotype is, the dude who's like in a band, but he's also like a heroin junkie or something like that, right? It's not just the fact that the dude's on drugs. His lifestyle just leans towards him doing drugs, and there's a whole bunch of other like exciting shit or interesting or mysterious things. It's not the fact that these dudes are on drugs. It's probably more the fact that they're
Just be mysterious, bro.
taking people. They don't really give a fuck, which led them to do drugs in the first place. And those other character traits and lifestyle habits are the actual attractive thing. Like, a dude on drugs isn't attractive in and of itself. There's a lot of things that are correlating together, which makes those guys attractive. And so he sort of...
You see, he said that it's on drugs. Then it's not the drugs, it's something close to the drugs. And then he said it's not either of any of these factors, it's a lot of different factors. So he started this spiral because he wants to throw us off the right track, which is the guy who's doing the drugs, he's attractive. He's physically attractive. He's a good lifer. He has good parents, like a rich dad to give him money for the drugs. And that rich dad got himself a very attractive mom, so they have good genes. And that guy is doing drugs because if I take a junkie that is bad looking, that is skinny, that looks like dying, who's balding, no girl is gonna be attracted to his drug lifestyle. So if you are a fat or ugly drug user, you're not attractive to anyone. So how is he gonna cope again? He just creates this. Well, it is the drugs, but not just the drugs. It is the fact that he's exciting, but it's also the fact that he does dangerous things and he's not boring. But also the way he just combines all these factors, so he does not give you a clear answer about what is actually lacking. And again, I really doubt that this advice is matching the case of the guy he just read. So he basically goes on reading a case, and then he gives an advice that is very general and is not specific to the guy he just read the message on. Like, I don't know, did he prepare this advice, this list, these points, and then he pulled random comments about loneliness and like just some black pill things? Or I don't know how he started, but this is built very strangely.
Missing the point there. So he's kind of woken up to the fact that he was misled from a child with this statement of be a nice person and you'll get a woman. And as much as I love Christians and I love what they do for each other, what the community they bring to each other and what they do for society, but a lot of churches push this same narrative of just be a nice guy and you'll find someone for you. And that's just not the case. We don't really live in that world anymore. We live in a world of infinity options for women, unfortunately, which is not good for men, which leaves them struggling to find a partner, and especially the average nice guy. I mean, this guy's above average. He's got all these things: a 6-digit income, a nice car, a home. He's well above the average guy in terms of all metrics. He's batting 100. But
in terms of all metrics, no, not in terms of all metrics. This is Bob. Like, do you remember, guys, the Bob from the video who said, "I'm a high value man," and Rich Cooper told him, "No, you're not." I mean, that guy also had all these metrics. Like, he had a good job and he had everything. Those are not all the metrics. I mean, this guy, I can find another video of him where he says, looks are a part of it. Okay, so at least you admit that looks are a part of it. So if looks are part of it, him having money and, I don't know, him just having, he said all these things and a 6-digit income, like all these things and then it's only money. So this guy having money is not all the metrics. All the metrics will have to include looks, even if you are blue-pilled. Like, the most blue-pilled guy on earth will tell you that looks have like 1%, 5% in the equation, okay? So he said all the metrics and looks are not in the metrics. That's like weird as fuck. And this guy being above
nice car,
average.
home. He's well above the average guy in terms of all metrics. He's batting 100. But if he's still falling into this nice guy syndrome, he ain't going to get girls excited. The funny thing is, nice guys aren't actually nice. Nice guys are passive aggressive. Nice guys think that they're owed something. There's a funny meme. It's like,
okay, so you are not nice in the right way. So be like, you are like a nice guy, but not nice for your intention. So like, Chad, like whatever he does, whether he opens the door for you or whether he beats the shit out of you, maybe his intention is good. Like Chad does not just want to have like sex with the girl and throw her. Like no, Chad have good intentions. Like how the fuck do your intention matter in your dating? I mean, he's saying this as in like I'm assuming the advice is stop being nice. Is like if you keep your looks, if you keep everything, I mean, let's just imagine that this guy is Bob, right? Let's say he looks like Bob. He is Bob, okay? Insulting, degrading to women. In what world would that work? I mean, imagine Bob just going to the street behind a girl and like smack her on the ass like this. In what world? In what world does that attract the woman? Or let's say he goes to uh, get drugs and whatever, like buy a motorcycle or whatever the idea of excitement and mystery this guy has. Will that work for our friend Bob? Yeah.
Like, nice guys see women as sex vending machines that they can deposit nice tokens into, and then pussy will drop out the other end. So they think that there's this reciprocity that goes on. Like, if I do enough things for her, if I'm nice enough to her, eventually she'll have sex with me. And that is not how sexual attraction works at all. You have to get women excited. There are a bunch of different triggers that get women excited.
Okay, so this advice, no, this point where women are a slot machine where you put nice token, and okay, a lot of men start that way. Okay, there are a lot of absent fathers, there are a lot of single mom households. A lot of men start with this strategy, like being the Mr. Nice guy. But that strategy doesn't work, and usually men at that time try something different. I mean, they don't even have to go to the red pill. Even as blue pillars, they can go for something like uh, even if Blue Pillar would try something, he will try like ignoring the girls or not texting her, like, or he will go full on like dating coach, red pill stuff, and that still doesn't work for them. I mean, if you failed as a blue pillar like, and succeeded as a red pillar, you fall into a very teeny tiny small minority who just was overly nice, like you are like 6.5 on the look, but you were behaving so poorly, like so clingy, that if you actually stopped doing those behavior, your dating life would improve. But that's like 2% of the population. That's less than the natural chats out there. So changing your behavior, a lot of people have tried that and it did not work for them. It did not help them. It did not change anything. And that's, by the way, where you revert back to like trying to like miss out, or you go full on black pill and you acknowledge the truth because you are being nice and it did not work. So you tried being mean and it still did not work. So
That's actually the white pill here, is that there are so many different attraction triggers that you can lean on that it basically means that pretty much every different type of guy has something they can lean on to attract a woman. And we'll get into that in the next example. But in the meantime, you should like and share and subscribe to this video. We've got tons of videos on this channel to help you with all aspects of dating, relationships, and in particular, sex advice so you can absolutely rock a girl's world in the bedroom when you do eventually get to that point. And then that helps you stand out and keep her in your life as long as you want. Here's another example. What is the best compliment you've ever received?
keep a girl as long as you want. Even Tom Brady and Ricardo Caca, two top elites in their respective sports, like award-winning tall chads, could not keep women as long as they wanted. So I don't know how Bob is gonna be able to do that, but
Received from the opposite sex, appearance related or otherwise. Trying for some positivity here, at least a good start. I can count the amount of genuine compliments that I've received from women on one hand, but here's the best one. I worked retail for a few months between my previous jobs, going back to school full time, my first time, blah, blah, blah. Growing up with this attractive old lady, and she was super particular about how she wanted her items bagged. I don't know why he's talking about this. She complimented me and said I'd make a good husband. That had me giggling like a little schoolgirl, and I'm still writing this high months later. It's coming from an old lady.
months later. So, oh my god, this poor guy. So it is one compliment from an old woman while he was doing his job, and he's still happy about it a month later. I mean, this is the level of like the famous, like the guy, like, be careful, it's hot. Oh my god, like, oh, I mean, I'm not making fun of the guy, okay? But they're so hungry. Like this guy is so hungry. How could he be happy for months because of the? And I have people commenting on my video that I made. I crave female attention and saying like, "Oh my god, this is a cringy video." Like, look how hungry the regular average guy is. Like,
So that's okay. If that was a younger woman saying that, ooh, I wouldn't necessarily take that as much of a compliment, and I'll explain why. I try to remember that moment when I began spiraling about my appearance and everything else. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like most guys can count the number of times they've been complimented in their life on like one hand. It's just the nature of being a dude. You don't get compliments for just existing. That's the world that women live in. And
wait, just again.
one hand, it's just the nature of being a dude. You don't get compliments for just existing. That's
You don't get compliments for just existing. No, a lot of men get a lot of compliments just for existing. We call them chads over here. I have worked, even in my work in university, in my work, in every place I have like hobbies, man, they look at the guy and go to him and tell, "Oh my God, you have such great hair. Oh, you're so huge. Oh, you have such beautiful eyes. What's your name?" A lot of guys take a lot of compliments all the time. If you do not get compliments, and this guy is good looking, like he's pulling the bald look here. I've seen his Instagram. I mean, if he doesn't get any compliments, why did he assume that no one does? That's a very weird way of thinking. Yeah, if you have one compliment, or like if in your whole life you have less than 10 compliments during your whole adult life, you can say it's zero, okay? Nobody's gonna count like compliments are like this metric whether you don't get compliments or you get compliments all the time. Girls do not do like a spectrum, right? It's not like the uh 4, 5 out of guy, like he gets one compliment a year, you get 1 point on SMV, and it's one compliment every month. And no. It's like the vast majority of guys get zero compliments in their whole life. And there are a lot of guys who are fed up with compliments. They're complimented left and right. They're like, please shut up. Let me. Like, I have seen a lot of chads like just fed up with people complimenting them and like trying to befriend them, trying to suck up to them.
I'm saying like you'd make a good husband. From an old lady, that's fine. She's being genuine. If this guy was like in the friend zone, for example, and the girl he's got a crush on, who has no interest whatsoever towards him, she's put him in the friend zone, and she said to him, "You make a good husband someday," he's gonna fucking obsess over that forever and think he's gonna marry this girl one day. That's actually kind of evil. What that means is you're comfortable, you're reliable, you're dependable. Don't get me wrong, he's a great.
It is not kinda evil. It is pure evil. Like a woman who goes to a guy she's not interested in, like she will never allow him to do anything with her. And she goes to him and tell him like you'd make a good husband. That is not kinda evil. That is pure evil. Like you cannot be meaner to someone than like probably like just take a gun and shoot him in the face. Like how is that kinda mean? Or like it is what did he just say? Like
That's actually kind of evil. What that means is you're.
he said kinda evil. No, it's not kinda evil. It is one of the most evil things you can do to someone without physically hurting them. Probably a lot of men will just take a slap on the face rather than telling them, "Hey, you're a good husband," while she does not intend to let him touch her. That's evil. Like that's devil level evil.
Comfortable, you're reliable, you're dependable. Don't get me wrong, these are great attributes to have. I don't want you to not have these attributes as a guy, but these are not exciting. These are not attributes that get a woman wet between the legs. These are not attributes that make her chase you. These are not attributes that make her interested in you, make her want to actually have sex with you. And I mentioned on the previous example, like there are a lot of different triggers that guys can lean on. Being attractive, like being good looking, is just one. Like, height, for example. That is just one of a slew of different triggers that can be used to trigger a woman's interest, attraction, and arousal. Things like mystery, intrigue, things like social proof, obviously, work incredibly well. There are certain levers have a lot more leverage on them than others, right? This idea of pre-selection and social proof, having other women around you, having other women paying attention to you, or just having people in general pay attention to you is a very, very attractive trait. Now, having a good network, being a good public speaker, being a leader of other men, having the ability to command and direct people's attention and give them orders and give them instructions in a very confident, organized way, these are attractive traits. There is so many different things that a guy.
All the traits he just described are usually seen in attractive people. Like being attractive leads you to have these features to begin with. So how can you acquire these features if your past life, like your childhood, did not give you any of this? Like, how does how do you get those if you are not if you don't if you're not that guy, if you're not a leader? How do you become a leader? You need experience leading other people, but you don't have that experience. But in order to get yourself into a position to experience that, you need to find people who are willing to let you lead them. So how are you going to become a leader if you're not a leader? Leaders are born, they're not made.
Can play with. You just need to identify like what is the biggest bang for your buck in terms of what you're working with. Maybe you're a musician, maybe you're a businessman, maybe you're great with your hands, you're a skilled trader, you're a skilled labor, maybe you're physically imposing like that, you've got a big fucking forearms and you can turn wrenches all day, you know. Lean into whatever it is that is your strength. Stop trying to play other people's games. You're not the 6'3" supermodel, so don't try to even play that game. Play your game. It's obvious.
What game does the 6'3" supermodel have to play? Like, we have seen the Tinder catfishing experiment. There is no game. That's just winning. Like, there's a game when you have to do something and to get the reward. The 6'3" supermodel, he just gets in to collect the reward. It's like they call him and they say like, hey, you've won. And he's like, but I did not play anything. I did not like sign any papers. I did not buy any ticket. They said like, yeah, but you just won. So there's no game. There's just winning.
Obviously harder for me to give a generalized prescription to absolutely everybody on earth who might be watching this video.